everyone, Miss Katrina here.
And Miss Sam.
Welcome to Summer Streaming Series, a show where we watch the first episode of an old teen TV series and talk about it.
We will discuss the first episode, make predictions if we've never seen it, and tell you why you should or shouldn't watch it.
Everything we watch you can find online, so get ready to start your next binge watch. Hey everyone, it's Miss Katrina.
And Miss Sam.
Today we're here to talk to you about the show Friday Night Lights.
It ran from 2006 to 2011.
So the show starts on a Monday and then it goes all the way to Friday, which is the day that they play football. So this show is about football, if you don't know.
Well, Friday Night Lights means football.
I had literally no idea
Really?
that had anything to do with it until I've actually seen the show before, but I did not realize that it meant Friday Night Lights
because you're under the lights.
They play on Fridays? I had no idea.
They play Fridays under the lights.
I never connected that.
Yeah.
No idea.
Friday under the lights. That's why it's called Friday Night Lights.
Okay, so anyway, the show starts on a Monday. It's 4 days until they play football. And then I wrote, I'm assuming they play on Friday nights, hence the show name.
Yes, that is why they named it Friday Night Lights.
So I don't know anything about football. So as much as I love the show, I really don't know what's going on with any of the football scenes. I'm just in it for the drama. So we start with Coach Taylor. He is the new head coach, and he leads the Dillon Panthers, which is the #1 team in Texas. Apparently, football's huge in Texas.
Yes, it seemed like it.
I would just, who would have thought? We start with Matt Saracen, who is the backup quarterback, and he's busy taking care of his grandmother, which is kind of sweet.
Yes, he seems very unconfident and kind of just like there.
He's just nice.
Yeah.
We also have Jason Street, who is the star quarterback, and he's a senior this year. There's a recruiter at some point says that he's the best he's ever seen. So I'm going with Jason Street. He's like the #1
quarterback in the country.
The prospect, I guess.
Yeah.
We also have Tim Riggins, who is a fullback, which I have no idea what that means, but he says he's a fullback. He wakes up by his brother, and he's surrounded by beer and a blonde girl named Tara, and she's kind of trouble.
She seems like she's trouble.
Tim Riggins, though, I love him.
Love Tim Riggins.
He's adorbs.
So cute.
We also have Lila, and she's dating Jason Street, and she's a cheerleader. She seems very much like a goody-goody kind of, I don't know how else to describe her, but I guess a stereotypical cheerleader from Texas.
Yeah, her voice kind of annoyed me, though.
Lila?
I don't know why.
Her voice.
Her voice just annoyed.
She does have like a very like babyish voice.
I think that's what annoyed me so much. Because she kind of talked like a baby voice. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe she gets rid of it.
I don't know. Hopefully she does. We also have Smash, who is a running back. Again, I don't really know what he does. He's pretty full of himself. He seems like he's like able to hype up all the other players, and Tim Riggins does not like him, and he kind of states that, like, I don't like him.
I feel like there's a story behind why he doesn't like him.
There's gotta be. Well, I guess there's similar positions. Is a fullback kind of like a running back?
I don't really remember the positions that well.
Yeah, I don't know either. So maybe they're competing. I don't know. They just don't like each other. We find out that Matt Saracen kind of has a little bit of a crush on the coach's daughter, and he kind of tries to sit with her, and she's like, I don't eat with football players.
Yeah, she was kind of like savage with that.
Yeah, she was pretty rough. She seems pretty smart, though. She's reading Moby Dick. She's definitely interested in more than football.
Yeah, you can tell she just doesn't care, even though her dad is the head coach.
I think she's kind of just over the whole football thing.
Yeah.
That's probably what it is. We also have Matt Saracen's friend Landry, who is hysterical.
Yes, seems like he's going to be the comic relief.
Oh, yeah, 100%. He's great. I love him. Also, I also noted that Matt does not seem very good at football. So we see him in the backyard trying to throw a football through a tire, which I guess is how you practice football, and he keeps missing. So I'm assuming he's not the best quarterback on the team.
They can surprise you.
We also have the coach's wife, Tammy, who's very down to earth. She's kind of looking for new houses for them in the newspaper, which I was like, is that how people looked for houses?
Maybe in the early 2000s, that's how you found out.
Because, like, I'm looking for a house, and there are no newspapers included, and I couldn't even imagine.
Probably before Zillow existed.
Yeah, I mean, it was 2006, so there was the internet?
Yeah, but it wasn't really a big thing to like buy things on the internet.
Buy like a house on the internet was not kind of like a thing. It's gotta be hard though, like looking for a house in the newspaper. You get one picture, like I don't know, man. that's what I focus on as an adult, that they're buying a house from the newspaper. Okay, so that's kind of our intro onto all the characters. So then we move on to Tuesday, and people keep giving Coach Taylor some advice. They tell him that the only place he can go is down, which seems like a lot of pressure on the football coach.
Well, football there is everything.
I know, but like everyone seems to just be like telling him that he better be good, he better win, he has to win. I feel like this is like a rough setup for the coach, which made me think they were going to lose at the end. Just because everyone keeps putting pressure on him.
Well, that's why they're putting pressure, because he can't lose. Because they're like the best team.
It's not happening?
No, they can't let it lose. Because that's what the town's known for.
It's true. They are the #1 football team in Texas. So I guess there's a lot of pressure to like keep that name going. And it seems like that's the only thing that really is going on in that Texas town. Which I kind of touch on too. Like later you find out that like the town shuts down on football day. Like everything's closed. Which like... What if someone doesn't like football and they want to like go to a diner? I guess you can't.
I guess you don't live in Texas.
Yeah, right. You can't live in Texas if you don't like football.
You have to move somewhere else.
You gotta move next door. You gotta move to like Arizona or something. We also have a town car dealership that's opening, and all the football players are there, and it seems to be about the football players, which is weird because like
weird. It's
the dealership, aren't they? Shouldn't be like celebrating the new dealership?
And isn't it Lila's dad who's opening?
Yeah, it's Lila's dad who ends up opening it. So I guess we see why they're connected, but it's like, oh, this is our new car dealership. Now let's talk about football.
Yep.
Which I guess maybe goes on in Texas.
I don't know.
Maybe everything's about football. I don't know. I've never been to Texas. I can't tell you. We also see that Tim and Smash almost fight on Tuesday night, which kind of sets up their rivalry, which
eventually it's going to blow over.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to get in a real fight.
100%.
Tara kind of like instigated it, right?
Yeah, Tara kind of like sits with Smash and like is eating his food, and Tim Riggins is not about it.
He is not having it.
We also then go to Wednesday, which the football players and cheerleaders are playing with little kids, which I thought was actually super cute.
Yes.
They're all like playing with all the Pee-wee football players, the Pee-wee cheerleaders. A kid asks Jason if he's going to play pro football, and Jason thinks everyone loves football.
Yep.
Well, I mean, like not me, but you know, I guess everyone in Texas loves football.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's scheduled to go as like one of the first round picks for, I guess, he's going to college. So.
Yeah, which is just kind of building up the fact that Jason Street is like the best. He's like a miracle, and everyone's behind him, and everyone's there for Jason Street.
Yep.
Which makes me feel like some tragic stuff is about to go down.
Something tragic is going to happen.
So then we move to Thursday, and Coach Taylor's looking at a house for his wife, and he says, we'll see how Friday goes, and I'll get back to you about the house, which like, I think your decision to buy a house should not be dependent on how your football team does.
I think he's probably worried that if the football team does bad, that the town's going to run him out.
Or fire him, maybe, and he wouldn't have money to buy the house, because she doesn't seem to have a job, so.
Yeah, we don't really know what she's doing.
So we also see Jason, Lila, Tara, and Tim Riggins hanging out. Tim is drunk, and they're planning their future. So everything, again, relies on Jason getting a huge football scholarship or a huge football deal and playing professionally. And that's kind of, again, setting up what's happening.
Yep.
Okay, so we move to Friday night, game night.
Big game.
Yeah, a huge game. Everything in town is closed.
Yep.
Nothing is happening. Everyone's at the football game. The coach tells them they'll win. They say their classic line, which I love. Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. Which is really like an iconic.
Yeah, like you know what that is from.
Yeah, I think everyone who hears it knows it's from Friday Night Lights. I've seen it all over the place. Like it's definitely continued on.
Yeah.
What else we got? I noted that the stadiums are really huge for high school football.
Yeah.
Like those are giant stadiums.
I mean, they normally are.
Well, also, I guess this is like the thing to do in the town. Like, everyone's kind of behind it.
Yeah.
Jason Street is a good leader. So we see the team playing. Jason's really like driving the team. He is a great quarterback. They are doing very well.
He's respected, so everyone listens to him.
Yes.
No one's like jealous, so they just listen to like what he has to say and what's gonna win the game.
Yeah, he's definitely like a natural leader in this situation. It's halftime, and apparently they're down points, or they keep going back and forth. Like, it's a very, very close game, and the coach is just screaming at them in the locker room, which seems really motivating, I guess. Like, when someone yells at me, I do better. Yeah. But I could see some people not responding to that, but I guess that's how
they're probably used to being yelled at to get it together.
That's true. So, their Panthers are now down points, and Jason stops a guy from grabbing the ball or scoring points, and he does not get up.
No.
He does not move at all.
It did not look good.
It was a little shocking. Yes. You figure, like, he takes a big hit, he's going to get up, they're going to brush it off and maybe win or even lose. But no, he is taken out in an ambulance and goes right to the hospital.
Yep.
So now Jason is not in the game. What is the team going to do?
We have more Matt, who looks like a deer in headlights, and like this is the worst thing in his life.
Matt Saracen is just kind of like thrown into the deep end, and they're like, okay, you got to win this game. And somehow he does.
Well, he has some little mishaps where he hits his team player with a football.
So he throws the football, and it hits the guy at the helmet in front of him and bounces off. I think he also fumbles it, or he drops it, and
then he somehow gets it together. I think someone said something to him.
The coach was just like, which was the best explanation of football I've ever heard. He's like, you have the ball, and you need to throw it to the guys on our team. And I was like, why didn't no one explain football like that to me? Because maybe I would understand football more if it was like way more simplified. People tell me all these weird rules. Like, if only people told me you just throw the ball to the same guy on the team, maybe I would have understood football more.
And then you find out he has like this really sick arm.
Yeah.
He threw it like down the entire field.
He ends up being a very good quarterback, and they end up winning the game.
Literally in the last second.
Yes, of course. Why would it not be in the last second?
But as this is going on, you see Jason, right?
Yes.
Jason's in surgery.
So the whole time we see Jason, like clips of Jason in the hospital, them taking off his helmet, him in surgery, and they're doing some sort of like surgery on his spine.
Yeah.
Which is not a good sign for Jason Street.
No, it's not. He's in like a halo after.
Yeah, so they finally go to the hospital. The coach goes, all the team goes. Everyone's really upset. Jason is kind of like out of it. He's in a big halo, and he's probably not going to be playing football for a while.
And that's how we end the first episode.
And that's it. That's the whole first episode, which is setting up a great story to follow. What happens to Jason? What happens to the team? All these other players? What's going to go on with them?
What's going to happen to Matt? Because he's going to be thrown into the spotlight now. He was always used to being the background. No one really knew his name. He was just there.
He's going to be the new Jason Street, and like, how can he handle that?
It's a lot to be thrown in.
I agree.
You're not expecting it, because he wasn't.
No. And
you're in headlights.
Nope, he had no idea no one expected Jason Street to be out of it and Matt Saracen to now be the new quarterback.
He was not prepared. He was not prepared.
He did not seem prepared in the least.
And he's also super awkward and like not the typical like.
That's true, like personality-wise, he's definitely not like the high school quarterback star player type.
Total opposite of Jason.
Which should be interesting to see, like, if he becomes Jason, or does he, like, stay himself while still filling that role?
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, so that is the first whole episode. Me and Miss Sam now are going to let you know if you should or shouldn't watch it. Since we've both seen it, we know what happens, so we don't want to give it away. But we're going to give you our thoughts on why you should or should not watch it. Miss Sam, you can go first.
I think you should watch it. I mean, I watched it a long time ago, and I actually never finished it. I think I maybe got up to the third season, and I just like got distracted. So I feel like I need to like redeem myself and finish watching the entire series. I know it was bad. I get that reaction every time. I watched like I think the first 3 seasons.
I can't believe you.
I know.
Okay, so I definitely think you should watch Friday Night Lights. Even though it is a little old and dated, it's definitely a great show. Again, I know nothing about football, and I still know nothing about football, and I watched all the seasons, and I really, really liked it. It's one of my favorite shows. I have a Dylan Panthers t-shirt. that I own, that I wear sometimes, like around the house. So I would definitely recommend watching Friday Night Lights. I think it still translates well, and I think you guys would still watch it and like it.
Yep. Hi everyone, we're back. So we want to let you know that next week we're going to be watching Smallville.